His presence is particularly welcome because Gordon Cowans has broken his leg. Villa are also without Des Bremner and Tony Morley through injury. McNaught's replacement is Brendan Ormsby, who didn't appear in Villa's league side at all last season, and he partners the new team captain, Alan Evans. West Brom are minus Derek Statham and Ali Robertson, both suspended, and without Brendan Batson and Steve McKenzie, who still lack match practice after recovering from long injuries. They're also taking a risk on Martin Bennett, who hasn't played a full match since March. And the manager, Ron Wiley, is already unhappy about the Football League computer, which determines the fixtures. He says, why should we start with what amounts to a cup final? Further confirmation from the FA this week that they want the FIFA guideline applied, and players should not go off for deliberate handball or for deliberately holding back an opponent. But when it comes to the cynical kick or trip, that is still largely down to the referee's interpretation of what constitutes serious foul play. So it's sunshine and shirt sleeves here. Aston Villa playing from left to right, both teams in a brand new strip, and a word of commendation to the Villa ground staff, who've got this pitch looking back towards its best after some damage done here during a pop concert when some 9,000 people were jumping up and down on the ground to the strains of Duran Duran. Whitehead with the throw for Albion. He's the captain today, in the absence of Robertson. Number 3, Whitehead. Looks for cross. McMahon forward for With. And McNaught and With, who are old friends, will be seeing quite a lot of each other in the next 90 minutes. Thompson. Here's Whitehead. In by Owen, and half away by Mortimer. Shaw. McMahon. Walters. Zondervan it was who made the tackle. The referee felt it was fair, and Villa indeed retained possession in the end. A good run by Gibson here, who was the player initially robbed, but a poor pass by McMahon gives Albion the chance to break with Nicky Cross. The tackle was by Williams. Foul by Evans on Regis. And again, McNaught was making his presence felt. This is Regis. Martin Joel. Oh, and Cross was in there, and so too was Zondervan. Romeo Zondervan, the goal scorer, and Albion take the lead after 5 minutes. It was well taken too. McNaught initially competing for the free kick, then Regis out on the right, Joel getting involved, and his fellow Dutchman Zondervan finishing with a fine shot. So Aston Villa, who've lost at home on the opening day of the season for the last 2 years, go a goal behind here. And it's the first time Zondervan scored since New Year's Day. Here's Gary Owen. Well, he only scored 2 in the whole of last season, Romeo Zondervan, but what a good way to start. Shaw bustled off the ball, and Regis, with Zondervan going to his right, Albion would appear to have started with a little bit more determination than Aston Villa. Arms round the neck, Bennett on with. And Albion have pulled everybody back to defend. Mortimer to Gibson. Oh, and Alan Evans was there. The new Villa captain equalises with a good header. So, Villa replied from a free kick, having gone behind that way. And interesting the way the other Villa forwards and players took the Albion defenders away, leaving Evans with a clear header, which he buried very nicely after 17 minutes. He was saying to me just before the kick-off how proud he is to have been made captain, the reason being that Mortimer has been unsettled and may have left Villa Park, but for injuries. Zondervan for the Albion, but his goal has now been cancelled out. Gibson seeing an awful lot of the ball on that side. Here's Walters, who should benefit. Gibson again. Tackling back was by Regis. So, 2 goals so far from free kicks. Here's Walters. And it's with flick, and Gary Shaw was very nearly in there. Webb. Joel. Punted forward for cross. And here's Owen. He's waiting for Whitehead to come down the left wing. And pulled back for Owen to fire when it hit cross, his own player. And Shaw's touch puts Kerbishley in possession. Outside him is Walters. And there are 3 the other way now for Villa. And away by Bennett. Here's Mortimer. Walters, and again Gibson forward. Oh, and Gary Shaw was in there. That just dropped over the head of Peter With, and Shaw was lurking. And Albion will have to start asking themselves what's happening to the marking back in that penalty area. They can't surely permit free headers, especially after what happened on the Villa goal. And that incident came halfway through the first half. Kerbishley. Webb. There's With and Walters. Still Walters. With. And he will know, Peter With, better than anybody, that by his standards, that's a bad miss. What a good run by this lad, Mark Walters. Playing largely because Tony Morley is injured, but with a great future. We saw some glimpses of him last season. And he got round his man there and played a very good ball in. which normally you would have backed Peter with to put firmly in the back of the net. Williams. Forward by Evans. And Shaw shakes off McNaught and finds Walters, who turned well. Oh, it's gone straight through Barron. Well, Paul Barron will be most disappointed with that goal. The Villa fans are pleased enough. Gary Shaw shook off Ken McNaught. Walters had Webb with him, and the ball straight through the goalkeeper to give Villa a 2-1 lead after 36 minutes. So Aston Villa come from behind to take the lead. Cross. Thompson! Oh, I say, this is some game. It's 2-2. Villa's defenders arguing among themselves as Albion congratulate Gary Thompson. And also Nicky Cross, who got the ball in from the right-hand side. Thompson jumping at the near post area and flicking his header majestically into the net. Inquests in the Villa ranks, but within 2 minutes of going behind, Albion are level again. And what a fine first half the fans have got here now in terms of entertainment. Little bit of pushing off the ball there between the two number 11s, but symptomatic of the urgency with which both teams are playing. For the moment, attackers very much in the ascendancy, and corners being conceded as a way out. And on the first day of the season, who's complaining about that? Oh, and with Shaw. Where's it all going to stop? Gary Shaw for Aston Villa makes it 3-2. Peter With causing unrest inside the area from the corner, and Shaw pouncing to score what for him was a typical goal. So last season's top scorer with 24 goals for Aston Villa, Gary Shaw, puts them in front at 3-2 with 3 minutes still remaining in the first half. There goes Gary Owen. There's Walters with any attack's dangerous at the moment. Gerbishley unable to find Williams, but Villa Park buzzing with 5 goals to talk about in the first half. It's not over yet. That was Nicky Cross to Zondervan, who started it all off, and he's got Regis going through for Albion. What a fine save by Spink. And Regis has got the ball back, and he scored. Amazing. After the goalkeeper had done so well, Villa made a mess of it, and Cyril Regis retrieved the ball and promptly made the score 3-3. Well, I've been commentating for Match of the Day for 12 years. I can't recall a first half when I've seen 6 goals, 3 to each side. It's just the start that the season, never mind the fans at Villa Park, required from two of our top clubs. Not sure the defenders will agree with my sentiments, or indeed the managers, but on the other hand, if it's going to end 3-3, it's a lot better than ending 0-0. The first half. Well, what a first half. Albion were in front at 1-0, Villa at 2-1, then 2-2, Tony Barton's side ahead again at 3-2, and almost before he and the fans could draw breath, it was 3-3. So Albion start the second half. And no doubt the sentiments of the crowd very much akin to mine. Can we possibly see second 45 minutes like the first? Cross. The feet are flying now, they really are. Oh, my word. Joel has been caught by McMahon. But after all that, it was Zondervan who had the worst injury and who is being helped off. And we're going to see 18-year-old Gary Robson, who is the youngest in the Brian Robson family. There are three of them from County Durham. Gibson on the chase. And with Albion now making up the numbers by bringing on their substitute, Gary Robson, just 18. He came on as sub in the final two matches last season. The youngest brother of Manchester United and England captain Brian Robson. And a corner to Villa. Ormsby up. Was it handball by Thompson? Oh, and Peter With appeals and then pushes Thompson in the back. Kerbishley feeding the ball in. Cross. And onside, this is the substitute, Robson, just come on. Laid it back for Owen. Oh, blocked. Almost on the line. Alan Evans, I think. Here's Mortimer for Villa. Gibson. Mortimer robs cross. And the ricochet finds Shaw. With. Oh, he's got his arms round the neck of Alan Webb, and one way or another, it's getting quite physical. Ormsby! And it's his first ever goal for Aston Villa, Brendan Ormsby. And what a day to choose when he's brought in to replace the departed Ken McNaught. He comes in with the header to put his side ahead by 4-3. Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is the third time Villa have been in the lead. They went ahead 2-1, 3-2, and now 4-3, courtesy of Brendan Ormsby, who didn't even play a league game last season. stoppage time now. Is it too late for Albion, who started so well? Can they finish in style? Regis. Oh, they might. This is Martin Jol. Good save, and Robson. Oh, what a chance for the Dutchman there to make it 4-4. Martin Jol was clean through and failed to make the most of the chance. Kerbishley to Walters. Now McMahon, who can find Williams on the right. In for Gary Shaw. Bennett wasn't tight. He was the second time and conceded the corner. Played short to Shaw. Mortimer. Back now to Kerbishley. With, and it came off Ken McNaught for a corner again. Play by Joe. And Albion will have to be quick now. Robson. So Aston Villa start the season with a win, and Brendan Ormsby, coming into the side after the sale of Ken McNaught to the Albion, scores the winning goal, his first in league football. And for these supporters, a day to remember. 7 goals, an abundance of incident. When Albion look back, they might say in a sober moment that they were without 3 first-choice defenders, and they also missed a great chance to make it 4-4. But surely some snappy headline writer will call this opening day a thriller at the Villa.